Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GamesQuestions. Firstly, I just want to apologise for not being able to do GamesQuestions last week. Pretty much, I caught a bug and was unable to do it, so apologies for that. However, I'm back this week, and I will also be going through the previous week's questions as well, to just make sure none of them questions were actually missed. Before we move ahead with the questions, I just wanted to give a customer service update. We are still currently receiving a high number of customer support tickets. Our team are working incredibly hard to make sure all inquiries are dealt with, and we now also have a new team member on board, which is very exciting. But however, the current response time is still at 15 days. Once again, we'd like to apologise for the delay and inconvenience caused if you've had any issues with your order and still waiting for a response. As always, just a reminder, if you are still waiting for a response from our team, please do not respond to your support ticket, as this will reduce the priority of the ticket, and we don't want anyone to have to wait any longer than they're already having to. So yeah, please make sure you don't respond to your ticket in the meantime, and let's start with the question. Okay, I'm going to start off on the UK blog this week. Because we have 2 week slots of questions, I'm just going to kind of give a general overview of the projects and what people are after an update on, if that makes sense. Okay, so UK blog, let's start off with that, and let's start with Blood and Plunder. So the latest update for Blood and Plunder is it's still currently in project data analysis. For a bit more of a general update on that, we're currently at the packaging stage, which means we're kind of just providing options of packaging to the publisher, who will then make the final decision, and we'll move forward using that for fulfillment. So once the packaging has been confirmed, we will be on the final admin checks for Blood and Plunder, and then it will be in the queue ready for fulfillment to begin. So if anyone's waiting for Blood and Plunder, that is the latest update for that. The next update people are after is for Old School Essentials. There are still currently 9 remaining orders for UK orders waiting to go out. I'm still waiting for an update on having the additional stock to arrive. I've had no news on that yet, and I just want to apologise for the delay there. Once it has arrived, it'll be a high priority to process them final 9 orders and dispatch them. As soon as I have an update on that, I will make sure to include it on the blog or some sort of update, whether it's a currently like or some sort of update, whether that's a social media post or a note on the blog to just say that they are finally being processed. We'll see what we can do there. We know you guys have been waiting a while for it, and once again, apologies for the delays throughout this project. And the next game we have, which people are after an update for, is for Beast. There's definitely as the weeks are getting closer to fulfillment beginning, we definitely get more interest for this one. Definitely a lot of excitement. The latest update for Beast is that it's also currently in project data analysis. It's not quite at the packaging stage, but it is in project data analysis. And we have a question for Vindiction. How long does it typically go from project data analysis to fulfillment? Which is a fantastic question. So we usually aim for around about 3 weeks. This is only if everything is straightforward, such as the SKUs are correct, the paperwork's correct, and there's no issues with stock. However, this is fulfillment, so issues can occur at any stage. If you are interested in what is involved, I can leave the link to our pretty much breakdown of what each step includes. So feel free to check that out if you're interested in the meantime. But yeah, we generally around about 3 weeks. It does vary depending on issues that can arise. Next up, we have Scarface 1920. People wondering how long before Scarface is dispatched. So the latest update for Scarface 1920 is that we are now towards the end of project data analysis and very close to final admin checks. There are currently a few big projects such as Casting Shadows and Final Girl underway, so I can't give a definite start date at this time. However, what I can say is it is upcoming, and if you're not following our social media pages, make sure to drop them a follow, as we also regularly post fulfillment updates there. And we'll definitely post one once Scarface starts going out the door to let everyone know. There hasn't been a lot of fulfillment updates last week or this week, just as I've been out of office, but we will be back to our usual fulfillment update schedule as of next week. So if you're not following it in the meantime, make sure to drop it a follow. But yeah, Scarface, just to conclude, Scarface is on its way and is currently at the end of the project data analysis stage. Next up, we have Riae, the graphic novel. I believe this was a question from Michael, who's wanting an update in particular about the American orders. So the update for American orders is that they are currently in process of being sent out from our UK warehouse. Once they have been dispatched, you should receive a tracking email, but if you are an American backer, you wouldn't have received that yet. It is currently being processed, so just keep an eye out for that in the meantime, and apologies for the delay. Next up, we have an update for Final Girl, which is Final Girl has in fact Final Girl fulfillment is underway, and to give you people wondering about an update of how fulfillment is going for that, we're around about 65% complete throughout the whole fulfillment for UK orders. You can keep an eye out for a dispatch email in the meantime for Final Girl, and yeah, that is the Final Girl update. And last but not least, we have Casting Shadows. A lot of people are wondering how fulfillment is going for that, and how we're planning to fulfill all the orders for Casting Shadows. So we're going to fulfill the orders based on pick rate, which is pretty much each order will have a number amount of picks, and the way we've organised to do Casting Shadows, as it is such a huge project, is we're going to start off with the low pick count first and then go on. So these will have about, on average, I think it's like 2.5 picks per order. Once they are complete, we'll move on to the medium pick count, which has an average of 7.5 orders, 7.5 items per order, and then we'll be leaving the high pick counts last. I believe there's about 170 orders for this, and this averages at about 16 picks per person. So that is the update for Casting Shadows. As of next week, we'll be back to our normal fulfillment update schedule, and we'll keep posting updates for Casting Shadows just to let everyone know at what stage we're at, so you can follow progress there. And that is UK Blog. Thank you to Adrian, John, Ben, Michael, Mick and Andrew for the questions. As always, if you guys need a bit more information on projects or feel like your question hasn't been answered, just drop us a message on Facebook. It's at GamesQuest, and we can provide further information where we can there. But yeah, on that note, let's head over to the EU blog. Okay, and EU blog. So we start off with the latest update for Blood and Plunder. So the latest update for Blood and Plunder EU orders is also in the project. It's also in the packaging approval stage, which on the blog will be under project data analysis. So this will So just to provide further information, this will include providing the publisher with different packaging solutions, and then they will approve which one they want to go ahead with for fulfillment. Once this is complete, the project will be moved to final admin checks, and it'll be closer to that fulfillment starting. Ugh. And once this is complete, it will be moved towards final admin checks. Next up, we have the latest update for Shogun no Katana, and we've had a few backers reaching out stating, the publishers had some struggles with paperwork to dispatch the games, and just looking for an update on that. Our team are in contact with the publisher to help with any issues with the paperwork, and there is a lot of paperwork involved. That's just kind of the nature of fulfillment. However, ensuring that all the paperwork is correct at this stage will reduce any potential delays later on. So getting that is important. Just to confirm though, there is movement on Shogun no Katana, and yeah, we're working towards getting that process going. So next up we have Scarface 1920 for the EU, and also a comment saying, hello, this is my first time doing Kickstarter, so now that Scarface has arrived at port, how long will it take before I can receive it in Italy. Of course, welcome aboard the Kickstarter train. So regarding Scarface 1920 for the EU, it was unfortunately delayed in customs. This was due to being selected to be inspected. These are completely random and are out of the control of the publisher and ourselves. However, I can confirm that this has now cleared and is on the way to our EU warehouse. So once that's arrived, the fulfillment process will begin. The fulfillment process of project data analysis, packaging approval will begin. So just keep an eye on the blog in the meantime, and you can follow the process there. Also, if you are also make sure to follow us on our social media pages, as we do post regular fulfillment updates there as well. But yeah, if you have any more questions about the Kickstarter process or how it works, please feel free to drop us a message, and yeah, we'll help where we can. But you will receive a dispatch email once your order has been dispatched, and we would usually expect around about 5 to 7 days for orders to reach Italy from our EU hub. So yeah, hopefully that information is useful. And let's move on to the next one, which is for Vindiction. Any news about Vindiction? It wasn't on the list. Yeah, so apologies there. This has now been added to the EU blog, and I can confirm that it's currently in project area analysis. Next up, we have an update for Hanamikoji, which was on the EU blog and then removed. The marketing team, who are the members behind the blog, were informed that the orders that had been recently dispatched were for UK orders only. So we're currently waiting an update for EU orders, and we've just removed it from the blog in the meantime. So apologies for confusion caused there. However, once we've got an update, we'll include it on the blogs. But yeah, at this point, we're still waiting for an update on that. However, just to confirm, EU orders have not been dispatched. Let's move on to Casting Shadows, which is Casting Shadows EU, which is how much time do you expect to finish the fulfillment for Casting Shadows? So Casting Shadows includes a lot of orders and a lot of picks involved. So I can't really give a time frame on when we're expecting that to be complete. What I can say, just like the UK orders, we will be doing the low picks first, followed by medium pick orders, and the last orders will be orders that include a lot of picks. By the word picks, I mean items per order. So yeah, that is the order, and we're currently still on the low pick orders. So we're still quite early on at the stages of fulfillment for Casting Shadows, but it has started, and we'll keep everyone updated regularly as much as we can across our social media pages. So yeah, we have one final question. I was wondering what's happening with my parcel. It's been a month and I'm starting to worry. I ordered Morkborg to be shipped to Israel. So yes, I believe you have reached out on social media previously. So if you haven't heard back from a member of our customer service team via our customer service portal over on our website, please just drop us another message and we can chase that up for you. However, just a reminder that our team are currently experiencing a high number of support tickets, so our response time is slower than we would like and usually expect. Yeah, so once again, apologies for the delays caused. But yeah, I will keep an eye out for a message in the meantime if you would like to follow up on your order. Okay, and those are the EU questions. So I just wanted to say thank you to Dean, Atanu, Simo, Miles, Avador, Boo, and Adrian for this week's and last week's questions on the EU blog. Once again, apologies that GamesQuestions didn't go ahead last week. I was kind of hoping to get around to it Friday. However, having been taken out with a bug, that just wasn't possible. So apologies that I wasn't also able to get that update out to you guys. Definitely on the mend now, so there shouldn't be any further delays with GamesQuestions. But yeah, once again, thank you to everyone who has submitted a question. And as always, if I've missed out any questions or you feel like I haven't answered your question fully, please just drop us a message on Facebook and we'll see what further information we can provide in the meantime. But yeah, we'll be back next week. Blogs go out on Tuesday and get your questions in, and we'll be back next week. So yeah, until then, I hope everyone has a fantastic week, and until next time.